Well, for more analysis now on Premier Li Keqiang's visit to Russia, I'm joined in the studio by Ms. Su Shaohui from the China Institute of International Studies. Welcome, Ms. Su. Now, this year marks the 20th anniversary of the establishment of a strategic cooperative partnership between the two nations. Energy cooperation is always at the top of the agenda between Chinese and Russian leaders. But besides that, in your opinion, what are the other highlights from Premier Li's trip to Russia this time?
Well, I believe this time China and Russia will talk about large projects of strategic importance. You mentioned about energy cooperation, and I heard the correspondent talked about energy cooperation. Well, energy cooperation is part of the large projects between the two countries. The large projects means that both countries need to build mutual trust and they need to invest a lot of energy in making it happen. So between China and Russia, they will talk about infrastructure construction and the development of Far East this time. This means that both countries would like to coordinate with each other and they trust each other and they want really to make something really big to happen. So during Premier Li Keqiang's this time, I suppose that both countries will talk about how to push forward some projects, and at the same time they will talk about some regional and international issues. I suppose the Western media will be very interested in how the two leaders communicate on some big issues like the issues in the Middle East and Asia Pacific.
Now, before Premier Li arrived in St. Petersburg, the Chinese ambassador to Russia, Li Hui, said during an interview that the relationship between China and Russia has set a model for major power relationships. Now, some experts also say that China and Russia have become factors of the world's strategic stability. Do you agree, and how do you interpret this relationship?
Well, actually, I believe that China and Russia are setting a good example of relationship between major powers. Well, it is always very complicated for some big countries like China and Russia, especially the neighbors, to get along with each other. And currently, we have witnessed that the two countries are developing a very good relationship. There are several important factors. The first is that they need to build up mutual trust between each other and they need to respect each other. China and Russia reiterate that they would not interfere in the other's domestic affairs, and they try to support some key importance issues of each other. So this is the foundation for the two countries to work with each other. At the same time, they need to avoid conflicts, confrontations. Well, in recent years, China and Russia are working very well on this part. And another part is cooperation. Cooperation always provides more space for big powers to get along with each other. And in recent years, I suppose that both countries put cooperation, especially in the economic field, in a very important position, and they try to work on it. So that is how the two countries work on a new type of relationship between major powers.
All right, Su Shaohui, thank you very much for your insight today.